There are moments in life when the world thinks your story is over. Moments when people look at you with quiet sympathy, as if they're already writing the final chapter for you. Moments when even your own reflection feels like a stranger. Bethany Hamilton knows that moment better than most. People know the headline: a teenage surfer attacked by a shark, losing her arm, and returning to the ocean with courage. But what most people don't know is that her real battle didn't happen in the water. It happened in the weeks after the accident, in a small bedroom in Hawaii, where she sat awake at night, staring at the ceiling and wondering if her life had already peaked at 13. The world saw a brave girl. She saw a broken future. She didn't talk about it publicly for years, but the truth is this: she didn't want to surf again. Not because she was afraid of sharks, but because she was afraid of being less capable, less competitive, less herself. Surfing wasn't a hobby for her. It was her identity, her language, her way of breathing. And now, with one arm gone, she felt like the ocean had taken more than a limb. It had taken her future. For days, she avoided the water. She avoided mirrors. She avoided conversations. She avoided hope. People kept telling her she was strong. But strength means nothing when you don't recognize the person you've become. One night, unable to sleep, she walked outside and sat on the sand alone. The moon was bright. The waves were slow. And for the first time since the accident, she let herself cry. Not from pain, but from the fear that her life story had already ended. And then, something unexpected happened. She heard the sound of a wave breaking, a soft, familiar rhythm she had listened to since childhood, a rhythm that felt like home. She closed her eyes. She breathed in the salt air, and a thought rose inside her, quiet, fragile, but unmistakably alive. What if I'm not done yet? Not a declaration, not a scream, just a whisper. But sometimes a whisper is enough to change everything. The next morning, she asked her dad to help her get back on a board. He hesitated. Everyone did. They didn't want her to get hurt again. They didn't want her to be disappointed. They didn't want her to fail. But she wasn't thinking about failure. She was thinking about that whisper. They carried the board to the water. The ocean was calm. The sky was clear. And Bethany stood at the shoreline, feeling the sand shift beneath her feet. She paddled out, awkwardly, slowly, painfully, but she kept going. Every stroke was a reminder of what she had lost, but every wave was a reminder of what she still had. She fell, again, and again, and again. But she didn't stop, because the moment she said, "I'm not done yet," she wasn't fighting the ocean anymore. She was fighting the part of herself that wanted to give up. Weeks later, she caught her first real wave again. Not a big one, not a perfect one, but it carried her all the way to shore. And when she stood up on the sand, she didn't celebrate. She didn't shout. She didn't cry. She just smiled. A small, quiet smile. Because she knew something the world didn't. She had rewritten her story. And maybe that's where you come in. Because you've had your own version of that shoreline. A moment when life knocked you down so hard, you thought you'd never rise again. A moment when you questioned your worth, your strength, your future. Maybe you've been avoiding your own ocean. Maybe you've been telling yourself that your best days are behind you. Maybe you've been living in the silence between who you were and who you're afraid you can't become. But listen to me. If you're still breathing, you're still becoming. If you're still trying, you're still rising. If you're still here, your story isn't finished. You don't need to be fearless. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need one whisper. I'm not done yet. Say it softly. Say it honestly. Say it even if you don't fully believe it yet. Because the moment you say it, you open a door inside yourself that you thought was locked forever. And one day, maybe sooner than you think, you'll look back at this moment and realize it wasn't the end. It was the wave that carried you forward.